This video is sponsored by RenderHub, and they are hosting a 3D contest this month, so stick till later in this video to know about it. Cinema 4D has long been the go-to 3D software for motion graphics, especially in commercials, broadcast design, and film titles, to a certain extent. And historically, Cinema 4D earned this reputation by introducing the Mograph module back in 2006, which was a game changer that provided easy cloners, effectors, and other tools tailor-made for motion design. This meant artists could quickly create, complex eye-catching animations without needing to script or build custom rigs. Another huge factor was its tight integration with Adobe After Effects, allowing smooth exchange of cameras, lights, and 3D scenes. Essentially, Cinema 4D made 3D approachable, especially for designers, and many consider it the industry standard for motion graphics. In other words, you can say that Cinema 4D is the king of motion graphics, and this is for a good reason. Even today, if you watch a high-end motion design piece, there's a good chance Cinema 4D was involved, thanks to its combination of powerful Mograph features in addition to being approachable and easy to use. Before we continue, RenderHub is running the Dangerous Curves render contest right now, with a prize pool of $1,900, including cash for the top spots, honorable mentions, and even some WTF awards for the strangest renders. The deadline for submission is February 15th. All you need to join is an original 3D render depicting a captivating villain who's alluring and dangerous. You can check the full details by clicking the link in the description. And by the way, RenderHub is a platform for 3D artists where you can find assets, learn, and share your work with a huge community of motivated 3D artists. Their gallery is a great place where you can get ideas, references, or feedback on your work. On top of that, the marketplace has a lot going on right now. There are plenty of 3D models on sale, a solid selection of free models that you can grab completely for free, and clear categories with a search system that makes things easy to find. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description to explore a great CG artist forum, where you can learn, sell, and enjoy a thriving community. In the 2010s, seeing Cinema 4D's success, other 3D software tried to catch up by adding their own motion graphics toolset. Autodesk Maya, for instance, introduced a node-based toolkit called Mesh in 2016, which was originally a third-party plugin that Autodesk acquired. Mesh brought in about 27 procedural nodes for Maya, letting users do Cinema 4D-like things. I mean, cloning objects into patterns, adding noise animation, creating trails, audio-driven effects, etc., all within Maya's node editor. This was a clear attempt to lure Mograph artists by saying, hey, Maya can do Mograph-style stuff now too. Autodesk's product team even noted they wanted the Mesh toolset to feel familiar and easy for motion designers, though they admitted the first version wasn't as deep as the other tools out there, which I think is a subtle nod that Cinema 4D still had more to offer. Meanwhile, 3ds Max users were given Max Creation Graph, or MCG, which is a node-based creation environment that was introduced back in 2016. MCG allowed technically inclined users to build their own modifiers and procedural tools. In other words, effectively letting you create custom cloners, arrays, and animations without writing any code. In 3ds Max 2017, Autodesk also added a data channel modifier, which opened up new possibilities for procedural animation and motion graphics by letting you use mesh data, things like curvature, proximity, etc., to drive transformations. These additions gave Maya and Max some newfound motion graphics capabilities. However, despite these efforts, neither Maya's Mesh or Max's MCG fully unseated Cinema 4D's dominance, in the motion design space. Many studios stuck with Cinema 4D for a specialized workflow, while Maya's and Max's tools found more niche use, often adapted by artists who already used those programs and wanted some Mograph features in-house. In recent years, software such as Blender and Houdini have been making waves in motion graphics too, and this is the case due to their procedural approaches. You see, Houdini by design has always been a fully node-based and procedural software. This means in Houdini, you can create things by wiring together nodes, which control every aspect of the effect or animation. And the benefit is insane flexibility, because as you know, Houdini's workflow lets you clone and tweak graphics endlessly and build very complex motion setups from simple building blocks. Artists often say that if you can imagine it, you can build it in Houdini's nodes, and this has a lot of truth to it. This procedural foundation actually dramatically speeds up creating complex animations, because you can make one change and it ripples through the whole network, automatically updating the result. And basically you can do endless stuff, as I said. For motion graphics, this means things like abstract particle animations, growth effects, and similar things are Houdini's bread and butter. It was traditionally used for VFX, but more motion designers are tapping Houdini for unique looks, and some creative effects that are hard to achieve in other software, at least when it comes to dealing with complexity and flexibility. On the other hand, Blender has recently gotten a huge boost in this area, with its Everything Nodes initiative, namely the introduction of geometry nodes. Geometry nodes in Blender, which was first introduced back in 2021, and by the way it is continuously expanded, allow a Houdini-esque workflow where you can scatter objects, deform geometry, and create procedural animations by connecting nodes. Blender essentially went from having very limited built-in Mograph tools to offering a powerful procedural system that mirrors some of Houdini's capabilities. This has given Blender an upper hand, which it never had before, letting you as an artist create parametric motion graphics and things like motion design setups that can be easily adjusted or randomized. In other words, Houdini has long been the master of procedural-driven animation, and now Blender is catching up, and it is doing that fast, adding more procedural tools, making both of them very competitive when it comes to modern motion graphics. But of course, they are not the same at the end of the day. Now, the question is Blender as good as Cinema 4D in motion graphics? You see, Cinema 4D's Mograph excels at precise and synchronized setups, while Blender's procedural node system enables more organic and evolving forms. Both approaches can yield stunning motion graphics. Blender has become incredibly capable, but achieving Cinema 4D's level of motion graphics, in Blender, requires a bit more work and technical know-how in Blender. Things are not really straightforward as they are in Cinema 4D, and sometimes certain things require add-ons to be as easy. Out of the box, Blender can do most of the things Cinema 4D can do, eventually. The fundamental tools are there. You have modifiers, particle systems, animation drivers, and now geometry nodes. Using these things, talented Blender artists have recreated many classic Mograph-style effects, cloning objects along a spline, building procedural animations, etc. However, the process isn't as straightforward as I said, or as quick as using Cinema 4D's purpose-built Mograph tools. In Blender, you might need to manually create a geometry node setup, or use Python scripts, or maybe some add-ons to do certain things that you can do in Cinema 4D using the Mograph tools. And this is where Blender add-ons come into play. The Blender community is huge and constantly churns add-ons. Many of them are free to make motion graphics easier. For example, there are geometry node packages, in addition to some add-ons that mimic Cinema 4D cloner and effector's workflow. Many artists use add-ons like animation nodes, which is an older add-on that can do amazing things, or more recent ones like Mograph, in addition to Prograph, which provide preset node groups for cloners, effectors, fields, etc., essentially allowing Blender to be as good as Cinema 4D and sometimes even better. So you might end up leveraging a couple of add-ons or some pre-made node groups to fill in the gaps to save time. The good news is that Blender's open source nature means if a feature is missing, someone likely made an add-on for it, or it is a feature inside an add-on, and Blender developers themselves are continuously improving the node tools. So with a bit of community help and a willingness to dive deeper technically, Blender can absolutely produce Cinema 4D quality motion graphics, and even better. And as I said, Houdini is also a player in this game. Its node-based system allows intricate motion graphics, which are possible when you fully harness Houdini's procedural power. When motion designers say Houdini is basically unlimited, it is not an exaggeration. I mean, Houdini's core design is entirely procedural and node-based, which means artists can build almost any setup that you can imagine. So there are practically no hard-coded limitations. Every parameter of an effect can be exposed and driven by something else. If used properly, Houdini lets you create extremely sophisticated motion graphics, from swirling abstract forms made of thousands of elements, to procedural cities growing in sync with music, to physics-driven title animations where letters explode into particles and reform, in addition to other things that you can imagine. The software provides a toolbox mentality. You know, instead of pre-made motion graphic effects, you get low-level tools to construct whatever you want. This is why Houdini often feels bottomless in terms of possibilities. Let me give you a simple example. With a few nodes, you could set up a system to copy an object along a curve, then automatically have each object react to a sound file for an audio visualization animation. And it is all parametric, so you can change the curve or object at any time and everything updates. This kind of flexibility is Houdini's normal way of working, and it helps artists develop and make amazing effects. Studios love Houdini for the most complex and demanding VFX work and procedural animation tasks, simply because it can adapt to whatever you need. Basically, if you think it, you can do it. In motion graphics, this means Houdini can produce effects far beyond the canned presets, or even better than other 3D software. Of course, the flip side is that you really have to know what you're doing. Houdini has a steep learning curve, and it isn't immediately user-friendly, but thanks to that, those who master it can push motion graphic design into uncharted territory. There's effectively no upper limit to what you can do inside Houdini, or achieve with skilled hands. It is also worth noting that Side Effects, the company behind Houdini, actively markets it for motion graphics as well, which is pushing it more in that direction. And there you have it, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, please subscribe to this channel to receive more videos like this. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.